control says that you are fit and able. You take a look at the starting grid. Chris Parrish, the very first Twins Cup champion, leading this field of fresh faces.
Bodie Page and Isaac Woodworth having a solid weekend so far, rounding out the front row.
Saw Michelle Agazi there, another new name with Sam Drain, Matthew Chapin on the second row. As we go back through the pack, there are riders represented from 3 different manufacturers. You've got Suzuki's, Yamahas, and Aprilia's all out there on the grid. Great to have Sonia Lloyd out there coming through the ranks as well. Solly Mervis there in the middle of row 6, a familiar name with Ed Sullivan alongside him. Continue back to row 7 and row 8. You see Rodney Vest, Ethan Song, some really young competitors that are all looking to continue their journey through the ranks and eventually find themselves up into the bigger bikes. But this is where it all gets started, and this racing, Roger, is some of the best of the weekend. When they go out, we will be racing. And it is go time here for Twins Cup, race number 1 of 2026. Chris Parrish was our pole sitter. He will settle back. He was hoping to take him all the way into turn 1. But the youth in the field says, I don't know, we're ready.
Bodie Page is going to lead him out of turn 1. Great start for Sam Drain, got himself up into 3rd already. Bodie Page already with his first lap, got his head down. He's kind of might be able to break that draft. See Hank Vosberg, he sees what's going on. He's going to work his way into 3rd already. He doesn't want to lose that draft early on.
Bodie Page continuing to stay just a little bit further ahead. This 9-lap race gives a little bit more breathing room, doesn't it, Roger?
Yeah, if you make a mistake, we talked about the speed of the Yamaha, and you see it right there. Sam working his way into 2nd. He's going to have a big draft going into turn 1. You got to brake a little earlier. When you get that draft, you're coming in a little bit quicker than you're used to.
It's Isaac Woodworth there on the number 27, one of the Suzuki riders in the field. One of the riders with a little bit of experience, but he's made a huge step forward here this weekend. He's been at the top of the time charts.
Hank Vosberg moves himself back into 3rd. We get the two rookies of the class leading the way so far early on into this race.
Where it looked like on that opening lap they might have been spreading out a little bit, the group continues to grow as we get into the race and everything settles out just a little bit, but Sam Drain continues to pull ahead. Also, you see Hank Vosberg now. He's even got himself into 2nd. Let's see what Matthew Chapin's doing. He's kind of off this group a little bit. Doesn't want to get too far behind. Through the practice sessions and that one qualifying session that we did have yesterday afternoon, Roger, you think about 9 laps for these riders. How many of them were able to string 9 laps together consecutively through those sessions?
I don't think we've seen that. I think the most was 3 or 4. Maybe some guys got a couple more. This can be their first time putting all these laps together. Hank Vosberg now making...
Bodie Page, one of the M4 X-Star Suzuki riders that we have out here for the season. Matthew Chapin also aboard one of the M4 bikes, as is Michelle Agazi. That team making the step into Twins Cup this season and fielding some of these young riders and giving them a place to continue to grow, all under
and not make it an 8-rider battle. If you can, try to at least keep it between you 2 guys. And now that the other riders this last lap was able to close down a little bit, you see that Sam Drain was able to close right on the Bodie Page.
So Hank Vosberg continuing to lead. Then you have the 65 of Bodie Page with Sam Drain and Isaac Woodworth right there. That is your top 4, but you see how close they are and just how quickly.
Well, I think the first lap you might think there could be a bike on fire going through the chicane and a little bit smoky. So once you go through it a couple times, you're going to know exactly as it is. As you see that Yamaha power there making the move into 2nd. Hank Vosberg, though, looks like he's going to make the break. He's going to pull away from this group. Another good lap through the infield. He should be far enough. Sam Drain got sucked into turn 1 a little bit with the draft. Bodie makes it back, and you can just see that little mistake, how much more it's able to let Hank pull away.
So Bodie Page leading Sam Drain. Isaac Woodworth still staying right there inside of the top 4.
Hank Vosberg, last lap, fastest lap of the race, 56.8.
Back into the mix and in this Twins Cup championship. The second pack, though, Roger, they see that front pack in front of them. Can they push hard enough to close it?
They would have to work together to try to not go back and forth through the infield. That's what slows you down when you pass each other going into the chicane. You kill your drive coming up onto the banking. So you'll have to work together through there.
Bodie Page sits up just a little bit as heads into the infield. Sam Drain right there. Isaac Woodworth. They look so close together, Roger, when we're looking at them from the outside in. What is it like aboard the bike to know that you're just inches apart?
The thing what you see right there, Isaac going to make the move. He's been a little bit quicker through the infield. I think that's for him. He's starting as the race winds down. You're going to see they're going to get a little bit more impatient to close this down as they head down into the chicane.
Gapping out just a little bit here with 4 laps to go.
To Bodie as they head down into turn 1. They need to get in front of Bodie and not let him lead them through the infield sector where he's been able to pull away.
This is where the 3 of them were able to pull it together. You really saw that draft of Isaac with Sam being able to close in together on Bodie, but what you don't see in the shot anymore is that Aprilia bike of Hank Fosberg.
No. That last lap with the draft, Sam Drain was almost 9 miles an hour faster than Bodie Page on the trap speed. It just shows you how fast the Yamaha is, and then also being able to use the draft.
The slingshot to the checker, that's what we call it. But for these 3 riders, they're still figuring out how it all works and how they can use it to their advantage. How do they time it? Hank Fosberg doesn't have anybody around him right now. He has his head down. It doesn't matter which bike you find yourself on here in Twins Cup racing. Everything is so closely matched that as long as the rider is on board with the helmet on and the head down, they can make the difference out there on the racetrack. And have all three manufacturers represented inside of the top 3 is pretty amazing here with 2 laps to go as Hank Fosberg now closing in on the final lap of this 9-lap race. There it is. White flag is out. It is all or nothing here for race number 1 of the Twins Cup Championship. Sam Drain on the 59 sitting in second. Isaac Woodworth right behind him in third. And then there's Bodie Page. Does he have enough? Does he take the chance? Does he get around them here on the infield where he has been so strong? He looks to the inside of Isaac Woodworth.
He's coming in hot. He's going to make it stick. Run a little bit wide, but Bodie knows this is his only chance. He's quicker in the infield, but just on the banking, just struggling a little bit.
He chipped off one of them, now sitting in third place. Bodie Page looks ahead to see if he can close that gap up to Sam Drain. Out front, it is all about Hank Fosberg, who continues to lead, nearly 3.5 seconds clear of second place of Sam Drain. But for Bodie Page, does he have enough time to get around him, or will he be able to use the draft? And there he goes on the inside. So Sam Drain now having to settle into third.
Unfortunately for Bodie, he's just kind of a set and duck right there. Isaac Woodworth doing a good job playing at that draft. And now it's going to be, does any of these guys want to make the pass going into the chicane, or they just want to wait till the next banking?
See on the left-hand side of your screen, that is our race leader. That is Hank Fosberg finishing out this final lap of the 9-lap race. The battle for second continuing here. Just a tremendous ride for Hank Fosberg. His very first race here at Daytona International Speedway. Barely old enough to make the call to get the experience at the end of the last season. Took full advantage, but that battle on the right-hand side of your screen for the spots on the podium nowhere near over. The checkered flag has flown here at Daytona. Hank Fosberg will take home the first race win of the season. Sam Drain will finish in second, and then Bodie Page will round out the podium. It is 3 different manufacturers who will get to celebrate over in victory lane. We're going to step away, take a quick break. We'll hear from him when we come back right after this.
I think that was a popular win, Jamie.
Certainly was. He is a fan favorite, Capatic favorite. A lot of friendships down there with these young riders. Take a look at the results from race 1.